So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, number 24, published in April 1961, with story by Robert Bernstein and art by John Forte. What is your last request, Miss Lane? Send this cable to my friend Clark Kent, Daily Planet, Metropolis, USA. Dear Clark, please try and get Superman to help me. I'm in the jam of my life. I'm about to be executed for treason. This is not a trick, a gag, nor a joke. Desperately yours, Lois Lane. When Lois Lane, Stargirl reporter for the Daily Planet, covers a Near Eastern kingdom that's all set to explode in a revolution, she naturally expects to encounter intrigue, mystery, and violence, but never in her wildest imagination would she dream that a frightening trick of fate would turn her into Lois Lane, Traitor. So Perry's sending her off on an assignment. Lois, a revolution is brewing in the Near Eastern kingdom of Pala. Therefore, you'll fly to Pala tonight as our foreign correspondent. Intrigue, mystery, danger. Here I come. I'll run home and pack at once, Perry. 1,000 apologies, Miss Lane, but your baggage is not here. It must have been put by mistake on another plane. Don't worry about it. I'll buy some new clothing and charge the expenses to my newspaper. So she wanders around the streets of Pala. By contrast, they preserve their ancient barbaric customs, such as snake charmer. She was talking about how advanced they are in some ways. And slave auctions. I think I'll get into the spirit of things by going native and wearing their clothing. So she gets dressed up in native clothing, including a full headdress. And a fellow on the street says, Auctioneer, you want to sell me a servant? Fine, I'll bid $100, 100 diners for that one. She can help my 5 wives in the kitchen. So he pulls off her headdress and says she's strong and she can scrub all the floors of the king's palace. Not so fast, pal. You can't auction me off. I'm not for sale. Besides, I should bring at least 1,000 dinars. So she apparently doesn't particularly care about slavery. She goes to a coffee shop and starts breathing in smoke from a hookah pipe and does not enjoy it when suddenly, why is everybody so excited? A woman just tried to assassinate the king. Every day at the palace, the king holds a public audience where people can approach his throne and talk to him. Today, a woman tried to shoot him. It's amazing. In our whole history, no woman has ever mixed in politics before. I guess there's always a first time, eh? Attention, loyal subjects. Here's our first clue regarding the would-be assassin. She is a blue-eyed female of medium height. Inform the police if you see such a woman. Funny. My eyes are blue, and I'm medium height, too. I'm not the assassin, so why should I worry? You're my prime minister, sworn to protect me. Knowing revolutionaries are plotting against me, what security do you give me? I was almost killed today. The assassin slipped through, sire, only because we never search females, women being throughout our history non-political. However, this woman will not escape us. This hidden tape recorder, which always records the voice of everyone who visits you, has her voice. We're broadcasting it tonight. Listen. Greetings, O king. I beg Allah to grant you long life. So Lois is back home when she hears the radio and the voice that's playing. Greetings, O king. I beg blah, blah, blah. Good grief. That's my voice. But how can that be? I didn't visit the king. I wasn't at his palace. What's going on here? That was the voice of the assassin. If you hear it spoken, contact the police immediately. I can't believe it. Unless it's a coincidence. Yes, that's what it is, a coincidence. The assassin has my voice, but I must be careful or I'll be mistaken for her. So she gets a knock at the door, and she's afraid that they will discover her, so she starts to try to put on another voice pretending to have a cold. Sorry, I had a bad cold. I caught it this morning in the airport. Sorry to have disturbed you, miss. We're looking for a woman with a certain kind of voice, but it's not yours. Good night. They're kind of silly. Whew, that was close. What a strange spot to be in. I'm not the assassin, yet I must protect myself as if I were. I'd better relax, get some sleep. Maybe by morning they'll catch the killer, and I'll have nothing to worry about. But she has a nightmare about accusers saying she is the killer. What's the matter with your police? They've reported nothing yet. Be patient, Your Majesty. We just found the assassin's gun, which she threw away as she escaped with her fingerprints. And her fingerprints are on it. Never fear, she'll betray herself yet. So Lois is wandering around and sees the picture of the fingerprints. Good heavens, they've even got the assassin's fingerprints. Well, I'm glad. Fingerprints don't lie. Should the police be silly enough to arrest me, they'd instantly see their mistake. So she decides to check her own fingerprints against, and it turns out it's an exact match. They're identical, but how come? I mean, it's impossible. I never tried to kill the king. I don't know what's happening here, and I'd better not hang around to find out. If the police pick me up, I'm sunk. I'd never be able to prove they're not my fingerprints. I'll return to my hotel, change clothing, then get myself a passport to leave Paula today. Gosh, I'll bet Clark Kent was never in a spot like this. So she goes to the airport, or she goes to, the foreign office to get a passport. Are you Lois Lane? Oh, why, yes, that's my name. Is this your signature on the application? There was one thing we didn't tell the public. Whoever visits the king signs a guest book. Your signature is the same as the assassin's. You're under arrest, Miss Lane. But I'm innocent. I tell you, I was never near the palace. I've been framed. Hardly, Miss Lane. The evidence is all against you. You're blue-eyed, medium height, and your voice, fingerprints, and signature are identical with the assassin. But I have no reason to kill the king. You're making a terrible mistake. You made the mistake by helping the rebels. The wretches knew no Pollan woman would be searched on entering the audience room, so they hired you, a foreign woman, to enter with a gun concealed under your costume. So she begs innocence, but they drag her off to prison with the intention of executing her. I knew something sinister was closing in on me, and it did, but why? How? I'll never know. Who in the world has my name, my voice, my signature, my fingerprints? Who is the real assassin? You have 10 hours till dawn. Do you have a last request? Yes. Send a cable to my friend Clark Kent. Tell him I'll be shot at sunrise for treason and to inform Superman that my last thoughts were my love for him. Yes, let Superman know. So she's taken and she's about to be executed. Fire, squad, get ready, take aim. Nothing can save me now. Fire! When suddenly Superman comes along. That sound! Could it be? Thank goodness I arrived in time. As Clark Kent, I received Lois's cable only 5 seconds ago. Just enough time to switch to Superman and fly here to intercept the bullets. Superman! Oh, darling Clark. I must have contacted you in time. They were going to execute me for something I didn't do. I'm the victim of the craziest series of coincidences. Tell me exactly what happened. Well, if you didn't sleepwalk or you weren't hypnotized, who could have been mistaken for you? Who has your voice, your handwriting, your fingerprints? I have. That figure, Superman, who is it? She's got my voice. Yes, I look like you, talk like you. I am you in every respect. And like you, I'm madly in love with Superman. Gaze upon me and see yourself. Great guns, a bizarro Lois. How did you get here? You live on a faraway world. I will explain, dearest Superman. Like all bizarros, I was created by a duplicate array that made imperfect doubles of the original bizarro Lois and Bizarro. However, I came out of the ray as a freak who behaves like Earth people. You freak Lois, you talk like Earth people. We get rid of you by putting you in space capsule. We fire you to Earth. Fine, I accept my exile gladly. So they send her to Earth, which she's glad to be gone. I will don this garment, so I will look like the natives. Then I will steal a gun and go to the palace and pretend to shoot the king. Oh, she says, my plan was to deliberately put my life in danger so that you would have to save me. Then I would win your heart, and you would marry me. Therefore, when I landed on Earth, so she puts the clothing on. I had overheard talk about a revolution and knew an assassin would be condemned to death. So the next day I went to the king's palace. I signed the guest book, then had an audience with the king. Greetings, O king. I beg Allah to grant you long life. Suddenly I drew my revolver, and not wishing to harm the king, fired several shots into the floor. Now I'll run away and hide and wait for the police to catch me. Then Superman will rescue me and will live happily ever after. Stop that woman. Stop her. She tried to kill the king. Wait. I'm sorry, but nobody came to arrest me. Then I heard they caught somebody else. You, the Earth Lois Lane. You were going to be rescued by Superman instead of me. Rescued by him? Are you crazy? I was almost killed. You would have been killed too if Superman couldn't get there in time. Wait, you stepped out of the shadows. Your face. It's not like mine. You're beautiful. Well, my face is ugly. Stupid me. I thought we looked exactly alike, but we're not. If Superman ever marries a Lois Lane, you'll be the one. and so she trips and falls off the cliff. Don't worry, Lois. I'll rescue her before she hits the rocks below. Good heavens, I can't reach her. There's a kryptonite boulder below, and it's affecting me, weakening my superpowers, slowing up my speed. Poor thing. She loved you. Maybe this poor, weird duplicate of myself is better off dead. Actually, Lois, she was never really alive. All Bizarros are composed of nuclear matter. They're not alive any more than a robot is alive. But if she wanted to be caught, why did she run away from the throne room? Because like all Bizarros, she was dull-witted. Her imperfect brains resulted in unclear thinking. She thought she was different from the rest, but alas, she wasn't once a Bizarro, always a Bizarro. I thought this was a really good story. It had a lot of intrigue and a rather poignant ending, so I thought this was one of the better.